welcome guys back to another video in the channel. We are doing a match preview and predictor lineup for Arsenal's game against Dundalk away from home on the Thursday night. This promises to be quite an interesting game for Dundalk. Let's see if they can get a win at home, but obviously Arsenal have been doing very well in the Europa League with 5 wins out of 5, hoping to make it 6 wins out of 6 for Arsenal. But this looks like it's going to be quite an easy game because the last time we did play Dundalk was at home and we did comfortably beat the team 3-0. They held on for 40 minutes quite well actually. Dundalk, fair play to them. Obviously they were going to come to the Emirates and park the bus, which is exactly what they did. And obviously in the 42nd minute, I believe it was, Joe Willock scored, and then a few minutes later Eddie Nketiah scored, or it was the other way around. I'm not 100% sure which way it was, but again we did end up winning that game 3-0. Pepe scoring a very good goal in that one. Hopefully he will start today and probably get another good goal as well. But I think Dundalk's tactic will be very similar in this game in respect to, they will try and sit back and they will try and take their chances when they do get them. And trust me, with this Arsenal team, we do give teams chances, and it's just that, they don't chance on them. Other teams like Tottenham, when they get chances, they took their chances, and that's what won them the game in the end. But teams like Dundalk, Rapid Vienna, Molde, they don't always take their chances. They're not high quality opposition, and I think in that respect we've been doing very well in the Europa League because we've not had to really try, and our youngsters have really proved very well for us. And I think hopefully the youngsters play today. I want to see the likes of Balogun start, Reece Nelson, all these fresh faces like Smith Rowe. I want to see them play because I've had enough of players like Willian, even though he's only just been here. Bellerin, Xhaka, Ceballos. I don't want to see these players. I want to see fresh faces, and hopefully in this Dundalk game it's an opportunity to give us that. And we are going to be moving on to our predictor lineup soon, but before that, obviously, if you don't know a lot about Dundalk, then you can go check out my previous video, which I did go a lot into Dundalk, what they've won over the years, what their ground is all about. Obviously they do play at Oriel Park, if you didn't know. So if you want more about Dundalk, what they're all about, you can check that out in my previous video about Dundalk. Obviously that was the one I did at the game of home, which we did win that game 3-0, and I had very good views on the reaction to that game. So hopefully we have the same for this one as well. But hopefully, again, I want to see the players perform, players like Balogun start, see the youngsters, and again, Arteta's not going to get any pressure in this game. We will win this game. It's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure we have to be getting 6 out of 6 in the Europa League. I think coming into this group stage, you were always going to know that Arsenal were going to get 6 out of 6. It's a pretty easy group. I think out of all the English teams, we've probably got the most easiest group, to be honest. So I think there wasn't much pressure going into it, and there's not much pressure, going into this last game either. That's why I want to see the youngsters. Arteta, again, I've said my thoughts on it. I don't want to keep going on about it. I've been on other people's streams, on my own watch along and streams. I said enough is enough. He has to go now. But again, you're not going to get much pressure in these games. It's all about the Premier League, and the next Premier League is the game against Burnley. That shouldn't give us much of a problem, but again, you never know. It's Arsenal, isn't it? So for this Dundalk game, we are going to go into our predicted lineup for this game, starting off in goal, Runar Alex Runarsson. In the last few games he has played in the Europa League, I think he's played alright. He hasn't really put much of a foot wrong. I think he made one mistake against Molde. Other than that, I've really had no complaints of him. I really want to see him start this game as well. Again, he's not going to be put under pressure in this game whatsoever, so I think even if you play someone like Matt Macy, it's not really going to do much. Dundalk aren't going to get much chances, and the chances they do get, hopefully Runarsson does make a really good impact and save those chances. And what I want to see from him is distribution, all those other things from a goalkeeper that you don't really see straight away, but then when you look at the game, when you look at everything properly, those are the things you see. So I will go with Runar Alex Runarsson. We are going to move into a back four. First of all, on the right back's role, I will go with Cedric Suarez. Maitland-Niles I'm going to put in the midfield, so we'll get onto that in a bit. But for Cedric, I think he needs to get quite a bit of game time if he does want to push for that position for Hector Bellerin. I think Cedric needs a really good performance in this game against Dundalk. I know it's hard because obviously it's only Dundalk. They're probably a National League side level team. That play in Northern Ireland, probably one of the worst leagues in the world. No offense. No, I'm not trying to disrespect, but again, we need players like Cedric to step up because Hector Bellerin is just not good enough, and that's why we need Cedric Suarez to step up so he can get into that Premier League team, so he can put Hector Bellerin down against these teams like Dundalk, because that's pretty much his level, isn't it? But again, Cedric Suarez at right back, got no problems with that one. Moving into our back two, first of all, right centre back, I will go with Squadron Mustafi. Mustafi, we need an experienced head in there, and I think he provides us with that. He gets the job done. In these Europa League games, he's been pretty decent. He's got the job done for us. Nothing silly, nothing stupid, nothing insane either. He just gets the job done very professionally, and that is what you want to see from an experienced head like Mustafi, World Cup winner. So again, hopefully he can give us some of these experienced performances on the way to the end of the season when he will probably leave. But yeah, I'll go with Mustafi. Left centre back, I'll go with Pablo Mari. He did play last week in the game against Rapid Vienna. I thought he should have started the game against Spurs, but he didn't. But I think Pablo Mari, keep giving him games, keep giving him opportunities, and hopefully he can break into that first team. I want to see him alongside Gabriel, because I think that can work. There is a possibility of it working, because at the moment, Rob Holding, David Luiz, they're all getting exposed by Hector Bellerin. So a new face like Pablo Mari could possibly help, Bellerin in some way. If Bellerin can be helped, maybe help him take some throw-ins. Who knows? But Pablo Mari has been very impressive for me, and he hasn't got many chances since coming in from Flamengo. Obviously, he had a few injury problems, but Arteta, really likes the play. He played him in that Man City game, started him, but obviously he came off injured in that first game after lockdown. But hopefully Pablo Mari, we can see more of him, and then hopefully he can break into the Premier League team. Obviously, he did also score a goal last week in the game against Rapid Vienna. So left back, I will go with Sead Kolasinac. Again, he ain't brilliant, is he? He ain't a Premier League quality player by any stretch, especially for Arsenal. But in these Europa League games against this level of opposition, he looks alright, and I think that's about his level. So why not? Let's go with Sead Kolasinac. Moving into the midfield, first of all, I will go with Joe Willock. Joe Willock, he did break into the Premier League team, but it didn't last long for him because, he was dropped for the Spurs game. But I want to see him back for this game against Dundalk, hopefully give him a bit more confidence going into some of the FA Cup fixtures we do have, because I think someone like Joe Willock will be very key and will play a crucial part in those games, and in our FA Cup game against Newcastle, which will be in January, and obviously the other Europa League games, the last 32, last 16, etc, etc. But Joe Willock, I need him to put up a performance. He doesn't do it consistently enough, especially when he gets picked for the Premier League side. So hopefully he can step up and give a good performance. Next to him, I will go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I thought he played alright in midfield last week against Rapid Vienna, very energetic, and alongside Willock, hopefully he can provide us with some well-needed energy. He's a very versatile player, and hopefully maybe midfield is a good role for him, as a box-to-box, could really help us out, especially with his defensive abilities and playing right back for quite a while and right wing back, and going forward as well. So hopefully he can provide us with some good width as well as direction as well. Next to him, as like a number 10, I will go with Emile Smith-Rowe. He did play 2 weeks ago, and he actually got an assist, and then last week he got a goal, albeit a tap-in, but he was there at the right time, he was involved in the build-up, and Ainsley did get the assist for that one. So I want to see both of them start together. Obviously got the chemistry of being from the Haaland Academy, so hopefully these guys can put up a good performance for us, and Emile Smith-Rowe is one of those players. I want to see him play in the Premier League side, so hopefully more minutes for him today, and he can break into the Premier League team. So that's Emile Smith-Rowe. Moving into the front three, on the right hand side, first of all, Nicolas Pepe. Again, still serving that 3-game suspension, will still be out for the game against Burnley, so you may as well play him in this game. I think we've been fortunate in that respect because, we've played not great opposition in the Europa League. So that does give a chance for Pepe, to get his confidence up ahead of his Premier League return after the game against Burnley. I'm not too sure who we're playing. I think it's Everton away, if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure about that one. But last game of the Europa League, hopefully Pepe can express himself ahead of a return from next week, which I want to see him play because Willian's not good enough. On the left-hand side, I want to go Reece Nelson. Very surprised he didn't play in the game against Spurs. Didn't even feature on the bench. He was asked to stay at home for some reason. I'm not sure what the situation was there. But again, I want to see him play in these Europa League games. Hopefully he can provide something more for us, but he's been playing very well over the last 2 games in the Europa League. That's why I want to see him in the Premier League side, but Arteta ain't picking him, and that's one of the problems with our manager. He's a liar. He's clearly a liar. He says he wants to bring through youth, but if he wanted to bring through youth, he'd put Balogun on the bench, Smith-Rowe on the bench, and Nelson on the bench against Spurs. But you did nothing of that caliber. You still want to keep putting Nketiah on the bench. I don't want to see Nketiah on the side. He probably will start, but I don't want to see him. That leads me on to the striker that I want to start in this game, and that is Florian Balogun. I want Balogun to get a full game. I want him to get 90 minutes because I want to see what he can do in 90 minutes. He looks good in the few minutes he did play play in the last game. So hopefully you can provide us with a good performance and possibly please try and break into the Premier League side. How much does it take to break into our side? Like, it's not even that good, but Arteta just likes to stick with his favourite. So yeah, that is it for today's preview to the game against Dundalk. Leave your predictions and thoughts in the comment section down below. This should be relatively easy. If you did like the intro as well, leave your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. Anything else, also leave it down below. We will do a live reaction after the game, and we do have Burnley this weekend preview as well to that game and reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.